Hi, it is March 23rd, 2015. This is diary entry number 10. I had a great day yesterday. I actually feel a lot more rested and relaxed than the day before. Last time I took a vacation, it took about 3 days or 4 days for my body to just relax and feel better. I think I'm getting there a little bit sooner, but then again, I wasn't feeling as tired or as tortured or as sore or stiff as I was like into September. Zachary's doing well at Kids Country Club. He's responding well to the staff there, feeding well, playing well, happy as a lark. I visited him. We had a great little 45-minute visit, and I am very content. And I can easily say that he can easily go back for other visits without a problem. I also am happy to say that I had a nice visit with Dan and Patrice Buffard here in London, or Patrice Kuntz for those of you who are like, who's Patrice Buffard? Anyway, great peeps. Really enjoyed their meal. I thank them for it. It was just a nice time of reminiscing, getting to know people, catching up with family. You know how it is when you get together with people from your past. Um, they're good peeps and they're doing well, and I'm happy to visit them, and I have an open visitation to call them anytime to visit again if I so choose, and that's awesome. Thanks if you're watching this. Now, I'm thinking to myself, um, as part of my personal growth, sometimes it's important to go back to my roots, to especially my Christian fundamentals. And when you go through a tough time, and when you feel hopeless, hurt, bitter, lost, it's very easy to forget where you come from and what you believe. And you can go inward within yourself and just sort of neglect many aspects of who you are and what you believe, or maybe choose not to believe them and just don't want to bother with, those things. And for me, being a Christian, it was very easy to do my own thing. It's very easy to make my own choices, to say, God, I don't really like you right now because of what I'm going through. A lot of things out of my control. Why did that happen? I don't understand it. And, God, why didn't you help me through this? Why do I have to go through this mess? I've gone through many messes in my life. Why do I have another one that I feel like I have to clean up? I'm getting tired of it. Can I not just have a time of peace? A lot of crazy questions that we say to ourselves. And so, but I've never abandoned, well, okay, that's not true. There was a time I did. Recently, I would say, I don't abandon my faith. I very much believe in God. I believe in Christ's salvation. I believe all those things. I have had Christ in my heart since I was 18. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I am not ashamed to say that I believe that that the God of love is life, and that His Son died for us, and it was a sacrifice, and it wasn't done because He was trying to build His kingdom on some form of righteous pride or anything like that. It's just He has this unconditional love for us, that He doesn't like to see us dwell in evil or sin or hurt or pain, but wants to give us a way by which we can release all of the poor choices we make, all the sins we commit, all the guilt, all the shame, all the fears we have, and release it to Him, and understand He loves us irregardless of what we've done, and that we can have that love within ourselves and share it with others. And and we can choose to live a life where we can neglect all that and do whatever we please, that's fine. You know, you can choose to live that way. I'm not going to condemn you. Um, in my opinion, we live by the consequences of our actions. So if in later on in life you come to realize that, oops, maybe I made a few mistakes, you know, however you rectify those in the end, you know, be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Um, but there is something to say about our final destination. Let's go through a few working theories. Some people believe we just die and cease to exist. We become worm food, dirt. Basically, we have no soul. We don't go anywhere afterwards. That is a belief. Um, Kind of a sad existence, really. It's like your legacy will only last for a couple generations unless you're really rich. You know, you won't be remembered for much. Okay. Um, I guess if you believe that, I can't really debate the fact that our bodies do turn to worm food, but I just believe that our soul and spirit go elsewhere after. You know, you say it ceases to exist. Well, I firmly believe that it doesn't cease to exist. I think we find our way into a better place in the end. And I choose to believe that because I think it's a happier theory, which the Bible says is reality, and I tend to think that way. Anyway, the second potential theory, reincarnation, where due to the choices in our life, once we die, we transform into another creature, per se, and based on how well we did with our life. So if I made a lot of poor choices, I might change into a bat or a mosquito. I don't know. If we make a lot of good choices in life, maybe I change into a better version of a human or a dolphin. I don't know. Let's think of some good creatures. Um, you know, there's a hierarchy of good and bad, I guess, in reincarnation, which you can change to. But here's my issue with that. It would mean every species of animal would have to have some form of structure of morality within their system by which they're judged. So, what would an earthworm have to do to become a human? And why would he want to become a human? Humans suck. Seriously. The way we treat each other in our world is horrendous. I'm surprised we're not the bottom of the chain. You know? I'd rather transform into a panther. Sly, sleek, intelligent, hanging in the tree, observing its prey, waiting to plat. Oh, sorry. I do think panthers are amazing animals. They've been my favorite for a long time. But just think about reincarnation. The other part of that I don't really understand is that there would have to be an incredible, I don't know how to say it, but if there were just in sheer numbers, wouldn't there have to be the same numbers of creatures in the world that would transform into one another? Like, if there were, just for easy numbers, 1 million creatures, we would always transform into the same number of creatures. So if there were 1 million creatures in existence, once we all passed on, we would come into a different form of animal to the exact amount of 1 million. Well, I'm actually thinking, and the other thing is, wouldn't there be then a shift change in population then of various creatures? I see a steady growth in humans, so I don't know how that plays out, but it's not like, the numbers continue to increase steadily in the human race, and some creatures decline in this world, but it's a steady decline or it's a steady increase, and sometimes creatures die at the hands of humans. Like, there's so many holes that I see just scientifically in reincarnation that it's hard to explain in a small video like this. But I think you can understand where I'm going. Anyway, if you don't, you can we can talk about it in comments or in person. I don't care. Um, then there are working theories that we can come back as spirits, um, or we can be tortured spirits here on Earth, waiting to go to heaven because we've done some things in our life that need to be rectified before we go to heaven. Some people believe that everyone goes to heaven. Um, the church believes in the concept of heaven and hell. My working theory, basically, on that is um, there's more than two or three different theories on even the concept of heaven and hell. Some believe you just go there when you die, um, based on the works you've done and your morality. Some people just because of their attachment to the person want to believe they go to a good place, so they're just automatically going to heaven. And then the biblical theory is heaven is a place where God's Spirit continually dwells. It's a place without sin, without hurt, without pain. It's a glorious place of streets and golds where we streets of gold where we all celebrate. And then hell is a place without God. Now, there are some medieval theories that it's like fire and brimstone, and we get thrown into the pits of uh, lava, and it's a hot place. I believe hell is just simply a place without God, and a place without God will always be torture. Because even on earth, with or without God, whether we believe in Him or not, I believe in prevenient grace. He allows us the conditions to live um, by His power. He allows our sustenance. He allows the air we breathe. And so, with His grace, He allows our existence. And but once that's taken away, I wonder if it's like, you know, taking off your spacesuit on the moon and trying to exist. It's torture, and maybe feeling torture for the rest of your life, because we really don't understand the importance of God in our life. Um, and that, to me, is a working theory. Um, if you choose to believe that there's some of that vivid imagery of fire and brimstone, it does talk about that in the Bible. I think it's more imagery of the feeling as opposed to the actual what you see when you get there. I could be completely wrong, but it's not a place I want to be, irregardless. Um, I'm not worried about getting the theory on hell right or wrong. I just know it's a place without God. Anyway, there's other theories out there, folks, and always a good discussion point. So I hope right now, um, in the end, that you choose Christ and you choose to live for Him, and you want to go to heaven, and you want to go to a great place, and to celebrate life with Him, a life of love, and um, you know, the payoff's great. That's all I have to say.